morning. In this video, we are going to be doing 10 times and 1/10 of decimals. So this is just like 10 times and 1/10 of whole numbers, except now there's a decimal point, so it's all good. Let's go ahead and read the first one. The value of 9 in 56 and 912 thousandths is blank the value of the 9 in 94 and 81 hundredths. So as you can see, I've highlighted both 9s. My first 9 is in the tenths place, and my second 9 is in the tens place. So I know that I have to say smaller because my first 9 is smaller than my second 9. And remember, that's going to mean that we have a fraction. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up. Anytime we have a fraction, anytime we know it's smaller, we're going to have a fraction. So next thing to do is to hop. So I know I'm going to need to hop from the tenths place to the tens place. So let's count our hops. 1, 2, 2 hops. So I know that's going to be 100 with 2 zeros. I know for some people it might be kind of hard to see that. So let's go ahead and write them off to the side and stack them up with our decimals. So I have 94 and 81 hundredths. So as you can see, if my decimals are stacked, it's going to be 1, 2 hops. So it's going to be 1 100th. So let's read that sentence all together here. It says the value of the 9 in 56 and 912 thousandths is 1 100th of the value of the 9 in 94 and 81 hundredths. Looks good, looks good. I want you to try the next one on your own because this should mostly be review. For this one, I hope you said that the value of the 7 in the tenths place in 32, wow, I just highlighted the wrong number. Sorry about that. The value of the 7 in the tenths place in 32 and 77 hundredths is blank the value of the 7 in the hundredths place. All right, so I'm going to highlight those different colors. The first one is yellow and the second one is pink. So it's a little bit different because we are actually comparing two digits in the exact same number. So remember, our first one was yellow and our second one was pink. So for our first one, obviously it's bigger than our second one. So we know we're going to have a whole number as an answer. And we see it's going to be 1 hop. So we know it is 10 times bigger. Let's go ahead and reread that to make sure it makes sense. The value of 7 in the tenths place in 32 and 77 hundredths is 10 times the value of the 7 in the hundredths place. That makes sense. It looks good. Let's go ahead and move on to the next part. This next part here is true or false. True or false. The first one says the value of 5 in 52 and 67 thousandths. I'll go ahead and highlight my 5 there. Probably switch it back to yellow because I like yellow better. Is 10 times the value of 5 in 67 and 543 thousandths. True or false? It might help to stack these up. For this one, I think it would have helped to stack them up. So let's go ahead and do that. We have 52 and 67 thousandths compared to 67 and 543 thousandths. So it says the value of the 5 is 10 times the value. Even if I do my hops, I see 1, 2. That would be 2 hops, so it would be 100 times the value. So this one is false. Go ahead and look at the next one. The value of the 4 in the ones place in 34 and 54 hundredths, it is too early on a morning, is 100 times the value of the 4 in the hundredths place. So it's saying the value of the 4 in the ones place is 100 times the value of the 4 in the hundredths place. So I know that the 1 is bigger, so it could be a whole number. 1 is bigger. And let's count our jumps. We've got 1, 2 jumps there. So I would have 2 zeros. So this one is true. Looks good, looks good. Let's go ahead and move on to this very, very last one. This one asks you which number has a 2 that has a value 10 times as much as 46 and 82 hundredths. So we're looking for a 2 that is 10 times bigger or 1 hop bigger. You find that number. For this one, remember we're looking for a 2 that is 10 times bigger than the 2 in the hundredths place. So I know that 10 times bigger than the 2 in the hundredths place is going to be a 2 in the tenths place. Let's go ahead and look. This 2 is in the ones place. That would be 100 times bigger. That's not what I want. This 2 is in the tenths place. That's a maybe. This 2 is in the tens place. That would be 1, 2, 3. So 1,000 times bigger. That's not what I want. And this 2 is in the hundredths place. So that would be 10,000 times bigger than a 2 in the hundredths place. So that's wrong as well. I hope you got B for your answer. Make sure these notes get glued down. You got your classwork to get started on. If you have any questions, make sure to ask them.